Hey y'all, and what is up? So I haven't posted in a little while, and I wasn't sure what to post about, so I decided I'm going to embarrass myself. That's what we do, right? So I'm going to read a couple things that I have written. One of them is a story I wrote for young authors, and I won with it. Another one is, I guess it's more just a poem now. I don't know, it was supposed to be a song, but I failed miserably at the song. I'm not doing that again. It's terrible, so forget the whole song idea. Not doing that. So I'm going to read these to you. I have more than just these. I have so many more. I could read them to you if you want, or I'll end up just reading them again if I end up wanting to embarrass myself. So I'm going to start with the shorter one. I'm going to do the poem first. So a bit of background on it. I wrote this a few months ago when some friends that I had were I don't know, they just started hating me for no reason, and it was really upsetting me, and I was real mad about it. So I thought, hey, I'll write a song, because that's what every normal person does, right? Writes a song about it. But I couldn't finish the song. I don't know. I guess just not good at songs. I tried writing them before. Didn't work. So if you have suggestions for the song, please leave them. I really love suggestions on those. I see them all the time in other people's comments, not mine. So I'm going to stop stalling and randomly, talking now. So, it has no title because I couldn't think of one. So, here it is. You hurt me, you remind me of who I don't want to be. The words, the looks, they hurt me. Is this the real you? Did I miss this before, when we were so close? I thought we were forever. I thought we would never fall apart. So, I wasn't actually sure where to go from that, and I basically got over it before I could finish it. But it's just, I can't think of anything else, so if you think of anything, please tell me. So now I'm going to read the book that I did for young authors. I started writing this book at the beginning of the school year, and then I forgot about it, and I heard about young authors, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I just kept writing, and then I had a limited time, so the ending is super rushed. And I feel the story is really stupid now, and I absolutely hate it, but hey, I don't have anything else to do. So this story is called Forgotten. Sarah sat by her window thinking of the day. It had been crazy, but she couldn't remember it. She tried, but it was hard. You have a doctor's appointment in an hour. Have you remembered it yet? Her mom asked from the door to Sarah's room. No, I can't. No matter how hard I try, I just can't, Sarah answered. You will. Just give it time. I've given it weeks and weeks. I've given it almost a whole month. Why can't I remember it? We could find out we could find out who I was talking to before it happened, if only I could remember. You will. Sarah's brother started crying from his room. I should go get your brother before he starts screaming. Go ahead. You know where I'll be. Sarah's mom walked out of the room and down the hall to Sarah's brother's room. Sarah went back to looking out the window and thought of what she would say this time to the doctor. It'd be difficult, but she was determined to make a lie this time, so she'd go back to school and everyone would leave her alone. Hello there, Sarah. How have you been? The doctor said as he walked in. Fine, Sarah answered. Good. The doctor turned to her mom. Has she had any delusions or signs of dizziness? No, she seems to be just as she was before. Minus the incident, of course, she answered. All right, he turned back to Sarah. So how has your memory been? Can you remember any of it? Sarah didn't answer. She looked down and then over at her mom, who was very hopeful, and then down again. She closed her eyes and tried to think of something. Nothing. She tried again. Still nothing. She could lie, but then she would get someone in trouble for no reason. She tried to make up a name. Still nothing. She finally gave it up and opened her eyes. She realized that almost 8 minutes had passed. I know, very precise. Go me. Being so precise. No, I can't. I keep trying, I swear I am. I just can't remember. She hung her head as the doctor started talking. It's alright, these things take time. He stood up. I do have some good news for you, though. I know how much you've been waiting to go to school again, and I talked to your teachers, the principal, the nurse, and the counselor. Not sure why I had to talk to all of them, but I did, and they all agreed to that as long as you take it easy and go to the nurse before and after you eat, every time you eat, you may go back to school. So I'm giving you this. The doctor's voice trailed off as Sarah heard the words echoing in her head. You may go back to school. The more she heard them, the more excited she got. When? She blurted out. The doctor jumped. I mean, when can I go back? Monday. You may go back on Monday. Are you sure about school, honey? Sarah's mom answered on the way home. Of course I am. You know how long I've been asking to go to school now, right? Sarah answered. I know. It's just, well, the doctor and I are worried about you. What if you passed out again? Mom, I haven't passed out since my first week home. It's been at least a couple weeks since then. What about your headaches? I realized the doctor gave us stuff to give to the nurse for that, but exactly, I have stuff for them. Besides, I can call you if they get too bad. What if, Mom, I really want this. Why can't you just be happy that you will have one less kid at home? Besides, if I can do school, you won't have to hire a babysitter for when you go on dates. I'll do it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I never said I was dating again. Your father wouldn't like that. Mom, I realize that you still miss Dad. I do too, but we have to get past this. He died 2 years ago. Thomas needs Dad, and since I've started school again, I won't be there to help. Sarah could tell her mom was getting uncomfortable and was trying to change the subject. Sarah decided to change it herself and help her mom just as she had done since her dad died. So I was thinking, since I've missed a lot of school, I'm going to need a tutor, Sarah said slowly. Yes, Sarah's mom replied. Well, you may not be okay with it, but could Josh tutor me? We'd be at his farm. The fresh air would be nice, and my therapist did say the animals could help. Oh, and Dixie could come with me. She's a great guard dog, and has been so helpful in my recovery. And Sarah, her mom yelled. Sarah had just realized our mom had been saying her name for a little while now. You know how I feel about that boy, how your dad felt about him. Yes, he lives on a farm, he does chores, and he has a beautiful singing voice. But his past, I know, and just as I promised Dad when he entrusted me to go by myself, I will take Dixie. The farm is good for her, you know that. I will also be very careful. Honey, Dixie's getting old. She's not as active as she was. That's because when you abandoned me after Dad died, Dixie didn't get that fresh air. She didn't get to see the other animals, and not to be rude to her, but she's getting fat. Our apartment isn't big enough for her to run around. I told you to take her to the park. She hates it there, all those young dogs messing with her. She just wants to walk. Not to mention, they are always picking fights with her. Besides, she prefers the farm. Can we discuss this later? We're home. Sarah walked inside and turned on the living room light. Dixie immediately got up and pranced over to Sarah. Sarah turned to her mom, who had just sat on the couch with Thomas. Yeah, she's real old, Mom. So old that she can get to me with no problems. So old that her breathing and her muscles are perfect. What's the real reason you won't take her to the dog park? Sarah's mom's odd question hurt Sarah. She knew she had lied, but she didn't want to hurt her mom. It was hard enough to just find a house that allowed pit bulls. Having to hear that Dixie couldn't go to the dog park because she was a pit bull would just make it harder, but Sarah knew she couldn't lie. Her older brother Grant had completely ruined that for her. He used to smoke and sneak out and do terrible things. Now he's in the military, doing good. Sarah looked up at her mom. You know pit bulls are considered terrible dogs that kill and hurt people, Sarah started. Last time I took her, there was a cop exercising some of the new police dogs. Dixie was loose and playing. He came up to me and asked which dog was mine. I told him that there were so many gray dogs I couldn't point her out, but I could call her over. While I was trying to get her to stop playing and come over, he let all of his dogs off the leash and they started to run around the park. One of them started chasing Dixie. He freaked out and started running after the dogs. I kept yelling for Dixie to come over while we tried to catch them, but she was too scared. He finally caught his dog and I went and got Dixie. I put a leash on her and walked her over to him. The German Shepherd started to freak out. The policeman took one look at Dixie and turned us away. He said he was sorry and that pit bulls hadn't been allowed at the park since the little girl had gone missing. The only animal near her disappearance spot was a pit bull. Pit bulls have been banned at the park since then. He always said that he loved pit bulls and wished it didn't have to be this way. That's why I've been pushing for you to allow me to go to Josh's. She gets exercise and we won't get turned away. Oh. I don't blame the policeman. He was very nice to me about it. He even told me about a few other parks that were close that do allow pit bulls. Why don't you go to them then? The reviews weren't too great. The places looked pretty gloomy when I went to check them out too. I did look into it though. Sarah's mom nodded. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Sarah and her mom stood up. Sarah's mom gave Thomas to Sarah and rushed to the door. But Sarah so many times. Sorry, editing as I go. My bad. Hello, her mom said as she opened the door. Sarah could hear a man's voice on the other side. Her mom looked over and Sarah looked down at Dixie so her mom wouldn't think she was fine. Well, it's just... Listen, the kids are here, and Sarah's mom walked out of the house. The alarm went off for Thomas's nap, so Sarah went upstairs and put him in his crib. She began to sing him to sleep. When he was almost asleep, her mom walked in. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You have the voice of an angel, Sarah's mom said. Mom, please, just get him to sleep, Sarah said as she walked out of the room. Sarah's mom walked into the living room and sat next to Sara. "So you figured it out then?" Sarah's mom asked. "Yeah," Sara answered. "I didn't figure it would take you too long. He's very nice. He wants to meet you as well. I'm just not sure he should, since we're still trying to figure out what happened to you." "Mom, could we talk about something else? Something I need?" "You mean Josh is the tutor?" Her mom sighed. "Sara, couldn't we find you another tutor? I'm sure we could find one if we talked to the teachers." "Mom, we tried that already. Remember? No matter how hard I tried, I wasn't learning as well as I was with Josh. Besides, before it all happened, you promised that he could teach me how to ride. He even offered to do it for free. Are you really going to pass that up?" Sarah's mom got up and started walking into the kitchen. "How about I sleep on it? After school tomorrow, I will tell you my decision. Now dinner's going to take a while tonight. Why don't you help me? You used to love doing that when you were little." Sara got up and began helping her mom with dinner. Sara walked into the park where Josh had told her to meet him. He was there and told her that he forgot something and ran off to grab it. She sat on the bench and watched as people walked by. Suddenly, someone walked up to her and began to talk to her. The next thing she knew, Josh was over her on the phone, speaking indistinctly. The next thing she saw was the ambulance and Josh talking to Sara's mom. He told her he went to get Sara flowers and didn't see what happened, and that when he came back, he saw Sara on the ground, unconscious. Then it was black again, and she saw people rushing around her, speaking all at once. Her mother was yelling at the doctor, at the nurses. Her mind went back to the person. She saw something new, something she hadn't before. This person, whoever they were, had long red hair. Sara sat straight up in bed. She thought back to the dream of that day, but the only thing that she could vividly remember was the person with the long red hair. Sara got out of bed and grabbed her sketchbook and colored pencils. She flipped to the page of the person that only had on a black sweatshirt and jeans. She erased the hood and replaced it with the long red hair. "Step 1, she whispered to herself. "Whoever did this to me, I will find you, and you will pay for what you did to me." She put her sketchbook and colored pencils away and turned off her desk lamp. Once she got in bed, she began to think of the dream, hoping she would have it again. But when she fell back asleep, all she saw was darkness. Night after night, Sara had the same dream. The only difference was that the person was even clearer with every dream. After a week, all she needed was a face. She got up the next morning and showed her mom the picture. "You're sure this is exactly what you've been seeing?" her mom asked. "Yes, I'm positive," Sara said. "Okay, I'll tell the doctor. And don't forget that Danielle is coming today. I want your room clean." Okay, Sara ran to her room and finished cleaning it. Danielle is Sara's best friend. She's been helping Sara, but they hadn't been getting anywhere. It was like every time they got close to figuring it out, they lost it all. After about an hour, the doorbell rang. Sara heard her mom open the door as she put her last few clothes away. "Sara, Danielle's here," Sara's mom yelled. "Okay, you can send her up," Sara yelled back. Danielle walked into Sara's room, and Sara noticed something different about her. "When did you color your hair? I thought it was red," Sara asked. "Oh, well, I didn't really like it anymore." "Why?" Danielle asked. "And I thought it was long. I cut it to donate it." "Okay." Sara and Danielle went to the mall and then played games at Sara's house until Danielle's mom picked her up. Sara went to her mom once Danielle left. "Mom," Sara said urgently, "I know who it was." "Who?" Sara's mom replied. "It was Danielle. She colored and cut her hair so I wouldn't recognize her." "How can you be sure? You said you haven't even seen the person's face in your dream." "I know, but when I asked her about her hair, she got really nervous. And aren't you even a little curious as to why every time I worked with her while she was on vacation, that we always end up taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back?" "Okay, why don't we just wait and see if you end up seeing the person's face in your dream, okay?" Sara awoke and thought about the dream. It was the same as before, just as it had been for a week. Then she realized something. It hadn't been the same. She saw a face she didn't want to see. Danielle's. Sara sighed and got out of bed. She looked at the time. 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. She heard her mother down the hall in her brother's room and went to her. "I saw her face," Sara said sadly. "It was Danielle." Sara's mom sighed and hugged Sara. "I'm sorry, sweetheart, but why would she do this?" "'Cause she likes Josh, too." "Okay, why don't you go to bed and I'll call the doctor and the police, okay?" "Okay." Sara started back to her room as her mom started making her calls. As she got closer to her room, she realized that Danielle never could have been her best friend. A best friend never would have done what Danielle had done. Sara also realized something else. She didn't need Danielle. She only needed Josh. So again, super rushed ending. I don't really know if I like it or not. I did it first. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was my best work at first. I hate it now. anyways, sorry for the long video, and if you have any suggestions, please tell me for videos or whatever. And yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be